All right. Um, Let me go to Discord. Hold on. All right. Now let me go scroll. I think Daniel, no, move. Daniel, is that you on the call or no? Who is D. Williams? D. Williams. Okay. Okay, Christina. Oh, D. Will. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's start out with, yeah, D. Wills is the last um, GU markup from a few days ago. Hold on. There's one before that. Who did that? Alto. So he was doing, okay. Let me share my screen. Oh, wait a minute. Um, okay, let me just. All right, so the first one I think was do. Trying to go back as far as I can. Okay. Um, I think Mish was the first one after, and then I think GU panned out. I'm waiting to see. Mike did GU. Okay, so we'll start with um, and I said I was gonna put a timer on today, so I don't go over. All right, let me share my screen and trading view. All right, so let's talk about GU. And I'm gonna erase all this. All right, let's start off on the daily. Okay. So, um, based on the daily, you always have to look at where you are on the chart, right? So, what I think y'all are getting confused with is the internal and external. All right. So, anytime you have a swing point, meaning price pushed up, pull back. This was the high, it broke structure. Now, I'm going to include all this, but you had a push up here, you had a pull back, and then you had a push up. In between this time, in between this zone, right, you have the internal pushes. So based on the daily, you have this, um, hold on. Based on the daily, you have um, this push up here, this pull back, this push up, this pull back, and this push up. Nothing has broken this high yet. Nothing has broken this low yet. Well, over here it did. So there's no need to mark up anything in here until price breaks the high. Does that make sense? Because I see that y'all are marking up like um things in here, but it's pointless to mark up things in here because it hasn't broken structure yet. It hasn't broken this high yet. You have to trade you have to mark up and trade what you see. And what I see is price pushed up, pulled back, and pushed up from here, right? So I'm looking at, there's a break of structure here. So now this went from being the swing low. This went to being the swing high to now being the break of structure. And now the swing low is here. And then the swing high is here currently. Currently. Okay. So as long as price does not break this low, even with this pullback, this is your pullback, this is your correction. Price pulled back, did not break this low. So now you have what was a swing high has now broken structure. So now this is now our swing low based on the daily. Okay. So now within this leg right here, so you have price going from this high to this low to this high. So within that daily swing, there's no, well, now we can start doing this because it has shifted structure. Okay. But for now, before that, it's shifted structure. I don't know why I did that. It has shifted structure, whether you're using my shift of structure or Ty's shift of structure. I want to see price break below the low of a candle. The anatomy of a candle is an open, close, high, and low. Okay. So I want to see price close below the low. So within this move up, as this before price shifted structure, right? Price was pushing up, it pulled back. It pushed up, it pulled back. It pushed up, it pulled back. It pushed up, it pulled back, it pushed up, it pulled back, and then it pushed up. So you have to take in account, you can't just mark up this whole, you have to mark up the move. You have to see this move and know that once price starts pulling back, it is likely going to pull back to the discounted area. And as soon as I figure out where, there we go. It likely going to pull back to a discounted area. Could it be the 618? There's an impulse move, there's an order block, there's a imbalance. It could push there and then start pushing up. It can push here and then start pushing up. It can push to the 78 where there's an order block and then start buying up, right? So if you're going to trade the pullback, and you waited for market structure shift. So now that price has broken below this low right here, that means everything from here up to here is game for a pullback. And if you trade like me, you're looking for a supply zone. If you trade like Todd, you're looking for an imbalance. So I would want price to pull back to this zone here. So I would love for price to pull back here to then sell to, oh shoot, I forgot to put the um, to then sell to. So you got the golden zone here. I don't do golden zone, but I'm telling you because I know Todd probably talks about it. You have the 78 here, and then you have the 88 here. And my guess is it's probably going to come back to the 78. The 88 doesn't have an order block or an imbalance or anything at it. So my guess would be that it's going to pull back to the 78. So let's just put the 88 here, and then I'm going to move this fib. Right? So you had this push down and now this push up because price broke above this high. So now that price has shifted structure, I'm looking for a pullback for a continuation of a sell. Whether the sell is going to, now it may not even pull back this far, right? It might just pull back to this supply zone here. I'm only trading because this whole zone is, when I say this whole zone from this swing low to where price broke, everything up to the highest point, because that is all fair game for the sell, I want it in the most opportune place there is. So if we are looking at structure, this is currently structure, right? But the break did not happen until after here. Now, if price had broken structure here, for me, it had not broken structure there. For Todd, it did. Pull back, and then so now, then I would be looking for price to pull back here. I'm looking for price to pull back here, and you can sell it to this golden zone if you want. That's more than enough pips. More than enough pips, right? So, um, what
Can I
would,
ask a question?
yes.
What would be a deciding factor if it doesn't go into your zone that will make you want to jump in?
It
Or
would
would you say if it doesn't go in, you don't go in?
it would need to come here and shift structure. It would
Okay,
need to come to this zone here, and I would need to see a shift in structure.
okay,
So on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, once price pulled back into this zone, if I if I don't see if I don't see a shift in this structure, if I see a shift, then I'll be looking for the sell. Okay. If I don't, and I'm going to show an example just in a few. Um, if I don't, if it starts pushing up, oops, and structure is all the way down here and it's still pushing, then I'm going to wait till price come up there and then I can take it to at least these lows or to um to this golden zone. Like I said, that's was 700 pips, 787 pips, more than enough. Way more than enough. So that's what I would need to see. It either needs to come here, shift structure. If I don't see it shift here, then I'm waiting for it to come here.
okay. Thank you.
And I haven't even like narrowed in the zone. I just need to, and all I would do is put an alert. I would put an alert here first. I'm not on the charts until my alert goes off. And then once I get the alert, I'm going to my higher time frame. I'm looking at my daily. I'm looking at my 4 hour. If there's structure on the 4 hour, then I'll mark it up. And once I mark it up, then I'm just waiting for price to give me once I mark it up, I set my alerts at the swing high or the swing low. Once I get a notification of the alert, whether it's sweeping the high or sweeping the low or um, closing above or below the swing high, swing low. So I'm just watching market structure at that point. It's either going to
Okay.
keep breaking structure or it's going to shift structure, give you a shift in structure. So now that, like I said, that price has shifted structure here. Um, and I think I saw somebody, so based on this is higher time frame structure. This is the swing high, this is the swing low. I think it was on the daily, but in between there, you can't just mark up this right here, right? You got to mark up actual structure in between there because you wouldn't even know if this shifted structure if you were marking up this whole thing. So you have to mark up the internal structure to know when and where there's a shift in that structure. If you're trying to sell the pullback, you have to mark up the internal structure. Okay. So that was the last internal move. And then price started pulling back and price shifted that swing low or broke past this swing low. So when you mark up your chart, you can't just mark up the whole, darn it. You can't just mark up this whole swing on the daily because now you have internal structure you can utilize if you want to trade the pullback. Now, occasionally I will trade the pullback. If it's giving me something like this literally broke structure, like I need to see the structure. Um, and I know that this is an impulse move here, so price could come here, pull back, and start selling more. I want price to go pull back to the 78. Todd will see price pull back to the 50% 618, and he's okay with getting in a trade at the 50% 618. And not saying that I wouldn't, but it's just less stress for me. It's just less stress for me. Okay. So if price pulls back to here or here, wherever it pulls back to, I can definitely trade it down to there. I'm not buying. I wouldn't buy from here. It is in a discount area, but I'm not buying from a 50% 618. I'm only going to buy from a set or sell from a 78. So with that being said, now that price has shifted structure, right? So now that price has shifted structure, and I said I wanted price to come back here. There's an 88. It's got to be 78 or 88 for me. This makes sense for me to wait for price. And no, I'm not buying it back up. I will not buy it back up. Like I can't tell you how I'm not stressing myself out. I'm not stressing myself over this pullback. I'm just not going to do it. So, because structure has shifted bearish, I'm only looking for bearish moves. Because guess what? If price decides to come here or here and start selling some more, like I'm not getting caught up in that. If it doesn't pull back here, I'm okay. Guess what? I didn't lose a trade. I didn't win a trade, but I didn't lose one either. Or I'm not in a hedge, or I'm not in a, stressing about being in the negative. Like I, I'm not doing it. But if it comes back here, then I'll get on the chart to see what it's giving me. If it's not giving me anything, I'm gonna move my um I wouldn't even move it. If it's looking like it's gonna keep going up, I am going to set a limit at the 88. Like, and then I'm gonna let it do whatever it's gonna do. If it doesn't give me the move here, I'm setting a limit here. Okay. So this was GU, and then I think D will post it. Oh, wait a minute. Alto posted afterwards, after that. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? This was EU. Okay, I do want to explain EU. Hold on. EU. Somebody posted. Who posted EU? I don't know who posted. I think it was Misha. This is what I don't want you all doing, like EU.
This is EA.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. EU. All right. So, of course, I'm looking at the bigger picture, right? I'm looking at the bigger picture. Bigger picture is telling me that price went up, price broke structure here, price pushed up, price broke structure here. So, higher time frame is telling me that price broke structure here. This is my swing high. This is my swing low. I'm not going to mark it up. I'm just going to show you. And if I'm going to fib that move, okay, I'm looking for price to come back to the 78.88 to start selling. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 78. This is the 88. I can move my fib. And then let me put this down here. Okay, so now I can go down in time frame. Price has tapped the 78, right? Oh, let me go back to my daily. So now, based on the daily, I have a swing high and a break of structure here. I have a swing high and a break of structure here. So this is my last swing low, and there was a shift in structure. So now that I have a shift in structure, I am looking for price to pull back to, and I'm just gonna, I always use the last up candle before the down move. I'm looking for price to pull back up into here, which is at a 78 and 88. Okay. And I marked it from this high to this low. So I'm looking for price to pull back into this zone to then sell. Oh, let me do this right quick. Negative 27, negative. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do when I look at a higher time frame, this is the higher time frame swing high. This is the higher time frame swing low. And then you have these internal moves right? Push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up. There's no need to mark up this right here. And that's what I wanted to say because I saw, I think it was Mish marked up this right here. There's no need to mark up this. This is your high. This is your low. This is just in between. This is in between your high and the low. But now that price has shifted structure, you now have from this high to this low. So you can mark up that zone. And depending on how far this goes down, you would still just keep moving until it's ready to give a pullback. And then you can fib that move and wait and expect the pullback. Okay. So whenever you're marking up, don't mark the in between. So if none of this is here, there's no need to mark that up because this is your high, this is your low, and everything. This is all in between. There's no need to mark up that. Is this making sense? Like, are there any questions about this?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. That last swing that you marked, or that last shift, that swing low right there,
Mm-hmm.
that line itself, that turns into the market structure shift since that candle
Close.
crossed.
Yep.
Okay, close below. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I've been trying to, that's what's been confusing me.
Yep. So first it was a swing low. So based on this right here, right? Based on this move right here, you're expecting price to pull back to a demand zone to buy, right? And just like GU, this would have been like the demand zone to buy. So once price got here and wasn't now I generally just put in a limit whether it's going to play out or not. Cuz I think DW asked like what went wrong with GU. Like there's nothing went wrong with GU. It just sold more than we were planning to, right? So based on GU pulled back to the zone and bought up, but then it sold down. Do I know? I'm sure Todd will say, well, because on the higher time frame, it was due to sell more, and that's definitely possible. If I look at this weekly and I have this push down, this pullback, this push up because it broke this slow right here, this pullback, okay? And then price, this was the low. I think price broke structure here. So now that's it. And then this pullback, and then I know price broke structure here. So now that's my move. That's my move right here, right? So now if I look at my move and I mark up my high to my low, price pulled back to the 88 and sold off. And I probably didn't even look at that. That's why it's very important to look at the bigger picture. Price pulled back to the 88 and sold off. When price pulled back to the 77, it did not sell off. So I probably, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let me do that again. So let me mark up this 78. And I'm going to mark up the 88. Okay. And it didn't even tap the 80,1811. So I'm a little higher. This is at 38111. The 88 is at 38069. So I'm just gonna put it there. So so once price came up to the 88, which I think is a little further down, probably right there. Once price pulled up to the 78, it did. Okay, this is what I want to show you. Price pulled up to the 78 and sold. But this was your swing low. This was your break of structure, right? And then this was your swing high.
Quick question, Kim.
Yes.
That little breaker structure, where was that?
Which one?
The one you just listed right now, the breaker structure. Because you did something similar on my chart when I did GU. So I was just curious to
Break
know
of
the
structure
breaker.
right here.
Yeah.
Because this was the high point. This pushed up, that's the high point. And then it pulled back.
Okay,
And then
okay.
it broke structure.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
It
Because
broke the high.
you broke the high, okay.
So that's your break of structure.
So when you marked it up on my other chart, it broke that high initially. That's why you saw it was a breaker structure. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering what it was, the reason why you marked it when I did GU. So I guess it's similar to this, what you said. It broke that high in
Yeah.
that moment.
It
Okay,
broke
I get
the
it.
high. Once it breaks your high, that's your break of structure. Then it pulled back and then broke it.
Mhm.
And once it broke structure, it pushed up here, right? And then now this is your new swing high, right? And then price pulled back and then broke this high. So now this is your break of structure. This is your swing low. This is your swing high.
Okay.
Now, so once price came back to the 78, now it did break this structure here, right? So that just would have been a loss if we had saw that price broke this structure. And I'm going to zoom in. Price, this was a swing. Price tapped into the 78. Well, once price broke this high, this was then your swing low. Does that make sense? Internal. And I'm talking internal. So now I know we marked up this here, right? We marked this up here. But internal, you had this push up, this pull back, this push up, this pull back, this push up, this pull back. This broke this high. So that was the last push. So price broke this structure here, right? And then where did it go? It went to, yeah, see, this is why I don't do pullbacks. Let's fib it. I think it went to the 2032 or something like that. It went to the 38. It went to the 38.2. So it did pull back internal structure, right? It broke internal structure, but the overall, the higher time frame structure was this move here. So it did not break this low. It broke internal, and then it started pushing above these highs. And then once it broke that high, once it broke that high, um, the 78, the 78 was definitely a no-go. Once it broke that high, we know the 78 is a no-go. So the next option is the 88. So once price pulled back, broke structure, and then pulled back, broke structure. This is the last swing or the last low of structure within this leg, within this higher time frame daily swing up. So you have to identify your higher time frame swing structure. And then when you go down to into your 4 hour and 1 hour, you have to then identify the internal swing within that leg, within the higher time frame leg. Does that make sense? Because if you don't, then you're waiting for structure to break this low. Like you'll be missing out on a lot of stuff if you're waiting for price to pull back to this low. Um, you'll never get in a trade. So now that price has broken this high, it went to the 78. Hold on, let me make this right. 303. I know it's not gonna make a big difference. 069. And I don't even think that's right because I don't have the fib all the way up. And but we're gonna make it do what it do. So it was close to the 88. So this was a clue. Although Todd looked at the 6 month candle, right? I just needed to go to the monthly or the weekly. I went to the weekly to identify the higher time frame structure. I fibbed it because price broke structure. So I'm looking for a pullback and a continuation of a sell. So once price pulled back to the near the 88, that should have been a clue to me that price is going to start. What Todd saw on the 6 month, I see it on the weekly. I see it, but I wasn't paying it no attention because I don't trade GU. Okay. And I have to look at GU a little harder, but I am looking for, and now that the price has shifted, I'm looking for price to sell all the way down here. Unless, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm looking for price to at least sell to here. I would be looking to buy, I'm looking for price to sell down to here. Why down there? Who knows? Look, who can answer that? I won't even answer. Anybody know? Anybody? Stop, Tootsie.
Isn't it a continuation of the structure?
Nope. It's
The bottom of the bottom of the structure. It's the last low, the last lowest low.
it's the last demand zone in this structure. This is the demand zone. So order block, imbalance. So I'm expecting price to come here. And what I don't teach y'all, and not that I'm gatekeeping or holding anything back from y'all, I just don't teach market maker cycle in this group. Is based on, I know that the market moves in cycles, right? So, and I'm always looking for cycles of 3. And I'm telling you, if you're intrigued, go to YouTube to push up, and it's 3, right? So now that the cycle has moved in 3, I'm expecting price to pull back to this demand zone. And I will fund anybody's account. Okay. And I would let this play out all the way up to here. How many pips is that? 2,500 pips. Of course, I got to go down in time frame to narrow that down because this is a 537 pip stop loss, and I'm never doing that. Okay. But I will almost guarantee you that price is going to come here and buy all the way up to there. Mark your calendars, okay? Mark your calendar. Yes. So if you want to get in a trade, this is the one. This would be the one. And of course, I'm going to try to keep this marking. As you see, I'm always deleting my charts. But I would definitely, yeah, I would be looking for price to pull back, maybe to this zone, pull back, and then sell it back down to there. Of course, it will take a few months or so, but once you get in, you can sell down to, this is the last structure. This is the last daily swing, right? You can sell at least down to this 78. Allow price to show you what it wants to do. Is it going to break this low? We don't know. But I would be looking for price to definitely come take that low and then start buying from here, that zone right there. And if I went down in time frame, I would have to narrow the zone down. Or I would just set an alert at this zone. I would just set an alert at this zone and then watch structure. I would just watch structure at this zone. Where did I put it? Yeah. I might be off the chart. Yeah, I'm off the chart. There we go. So yeah, I would definitely wait for price to come down to this zone. Because it's either going to come back to here and bounce. But I would set an alert. Let's see. Daily, weekly. I would set an alert. So what went from 500 pips is now down to 297. And from 2,500 to 2,800. What I would like to see happen, already broken these highs, I would kind of want to see it break here first before pulling back. Because then that will take this from here to wherever the high is if it broke this high. Since this was the last swing, I want to see this high broken. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah. No. I'm sorry. I forgot. I measured, this was the swing. We're at the 88. We've shifted structure. So I'm looking for price to buy down to here. Or at least to here first, if you don't want to swing trade that. So at least to here first. Any questions? Going once, going twice. Yes, wisdom.
Yes, ma'am. So, about the area where you say price will buy from, based on the structure, and that's the 88, you have a market structure shift. Are you not selling it to the swing low?
Say that again. To the swing low. You mean this move
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Where you're buying from, where you say price will buy from, is that not kind of risky because there's a shift in structure, and that is about the 78 or 88 there.
This is
So
the 78, you're saying?
no, I'm on the weekly time frame which you are in now.
Uh-huh.
That area where price is currently, I think that is the
This is the
88.
88. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we have a market structure shift, internal market structure shift there.
Yep.
The right thing to do, I think, is to sell it down to the swing low. But why do you want to sell it down to this level and buy back up?
Because this is the swing, right? This is the last swing. So you want
Okay.
to at least sell it back to the 78 or 88 for me. Let me just say that. For me, I want to sell it back to the 78 or 88.
Okay.
Okay. So the 78 or 88. Now the 618 has a order block and imbalance, so it could go there and start moving back up to here. The only reason I'm looking for, you're saying to these, take it to this low?
No, you have your long position set where
Oh,
you
okay.
black area where you.
So I don't know if you heard me earlier. I mentioned that based off of a market maker cycle. Like I said, I don't explain that in this group. But we've had 3 pushes. This is a demand zone. So even if it came here and only pushed up to here, okay,
Mm,
it's still 2,100 pips.
okay.
Okay. But my thought is that 1, 2, 3. My thought is if it pulls back to this zone, because this is a demand zone, I would be looking to buy it back, at least buy it back up to the high. At least. It doesn't have to go all the way up here. And even right here, it may just pull here, push back up, and then start selling back down.
Mm,
We don't know. I don't trade fundamentals, so I don't watch the news. If there's something fundamentally that may shift that, you're right. It could keep selling back down to this low.
okay.
But I would expect a bounce from this demand zone, push up, a nice little bounce, and then maybe a push back down. So yeah. But I would put some money on it that it's probably gonna bounce from here and go up here.
Okay.
So you're funding my account.
If I'm wrong.
Okay.
If I'm wrong.
I got a question.
Yes.
I was reading Lamisha's notes in the side over there.
Mm-hmm.
Step 1, mark up your swing high and swing low. And step 2, she says fill starting with the swing high and go to the swing low. Is that correct? Or we
Wait a minute.
swing high?
Wait a minute. Let me find it. Where was that?
It's in the chat on the side.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I wasn't even looking at the chat. Okay. Step 1. All right. Step 1 is look at the overall move of the pair that you're looking at. Identify the structure. So if I'm identifying structure, I see that there was a break of structure here. So now I know this is my high point. This is my low point. This is my high point. Price broke structure here. So that's my low point. I'm pull up my high to see. Leave that train alone. Pull up here, and then there's another here and here. Okay. So That's my higher time frame structure. Okay. So once I identified the last leg of structure, this was the last leg here. It's bearish. It broke structure and it's bearish, right? Are we all in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, yep.
So because that's my last leg of structure, I can fib the swing high and then the swing. Let me hold on a second. I can fib the swing high and then the swing low. Hold on. I gotta get all this stuff off my chart because it's driving me crazy. Okay. Okay. So let's zoom in. And this is the high point, and this is the low point, the swing low. This is the higher time frame, swing high, swing low. All right. Within that higher time frame swing, you had a push down, you had a pull back, you had a push down, you had a pull back, you had this push down, you had this pull back, and then you had this push down, right? And then price shifted structure right here. This was a swing high. This was the last swing high, internal, the last swing low, and price shifted the internal structure once price broke above that high, right? So you had this push up, this pull back, this push, and I'm gonna just do this push up, this pull back, this push up, and this pull back. But now that I see what I can see, I'm just going to say this push up, this pull back, this push up, this pull back. Price broke this high, so I'm going to just push up that whole move. It pulled back without breaking this low, and then it broke this high, which gave a break of structure, and that's the current high. Okay. Same way we looked at this overall structure here, now we zoom in to the last leg of structure. And within that leg, we're going to go down to the daily. Within that leg, we had a push up, pull back, push up, pull back, a push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, pull back. And this was the last push up. So this was the last leg of structure within this move up here, within this move. So now that price has shifted that last leg of structure, price broke it, or market shifted structure, went from bullish to now bearish. I would be waiting for, like we mentioned earlier, price to pull up into this supply zone because, and I mentioned, I'm not sure if everybody was on the call, if price had broken this first, pulled back, and then broken this, then I would be looking for structure from here. I would be looking for a pullback from here. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand why I said that? Why I did that?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and you have to, based on how Todd trades, like I'm not looking for a close below the open or close of a candle. I'm looking for a close below the high or the low of the candle, which means the wick. The wick is the high or the low. Okay, so now that this close below here, I'm waiting for, I mean, everything from that swing low to where that broke up to the highest point is where I'm looking for price to pull back into. So if price broke above this high, that means nothing. That's not a shift in structure to me. And the reason why is because price did not break this low until here. That means everything in between from here to here is fair game for a sell. And I'm going to say it again. If price had broken below, close for me below here, pull back, and then started selling. So let me push this up. Let me turn this off. If price had closed below here, pulled up, and then broke structure again, or broke structure, then this would be my zone right here. Because if it had broke structure, this would have pulled back to the 50%, 618 or whatever. And then there would have been another break of structure. This was a market structure shift. This would have been a market structure shift. So I would have been looking for price to pull back here to continue selling. That is how the market gets you. So now, Mike asked, or I'm not sure, was it Mike that asked, well, how do I know, like, if it pulled back here or didn't pull back here, what would make me get in the trade? If it pulled back here, if I set an alert here and it pulled back, I would need to see a shift in the in structure, and then I can get in on the sell. But if there's no shift in structure, then I'm looking for price to come up here to this supply zone. And I'm not even going to wait for it. I'm going to put in a limit and let it play out. Any questions on that?
No, I'm saying.
Okay. Hold on, let me go back to, let's see. Let me start from the bottom. Let's see. Jaybird submitted Euro USD. This is the same thing. And what time frame? It was on the daily. Wait a minute, why does this look different? Luanda chart. Why does this chart look different? Euro USD? Euro USD. Why does this chart look different? Hold on. Okay, that's right.
I think I was just zoomed in.
No,
Yeah.
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the same thing, but it's just zoomed in a lot.
Okay.
Maybe I'll and I was trying to
So
go
the
sell short instead of a long.
So your markup was good. Your markup was great. And then I saw your internal markups. So, um, yeah, that was fine. That was fine. Okay, this is right. This is right. But then let's see. Okay, so you fibbed from here to here, right? But because price shifted structure, you now have to fib this way. Because price has shifted structure. Price has officially.
That I dragged it from the like I dragged it just like you just did, and I don't know why my
I think you're using the fib retrace, I mean the fib extender or instead of the fib retracement.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you go over here to,
yeah. I get what you're saying. I did not pay attention to that. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I
Wondering
think,
what's going backwards on me.
uh,
I was wondering what was going on because it looked backwards on my end.
yeah, you were using the extension.
All right.
So now, depending on how far price pushes down, right? And you'll just move this however far that pushes down. And then, and I'm just going to put it right here because that lined up with my 78, right? So, and then there's this order block. Yeah. So depending on how far this comes down, you'll be looking for a pullback to then sell because you're looking at the bigger picture. And I'm just going to go to the weekly so it can be clear, or even the monthly. The bigger picture is from here. Actually, now it's up here because it went here, pulled back, and then went up there, right? So the bigger picture is saying price went here to here. Now you want it to come back to one of your discount areas between the 50%, 618, 78. And I'm just going to mark up this right here because that's the, oops, because that's the, what is it? Anybody know?
Break a structure.
Nope.
Gap imbalance.
Well, there is an imbalance, but I don't trade imbalance. But this is the demand zone,
Oh,
right?
demand. Sorry, yes, it is
Yes.
demand zone. Oh, see, that was my second thing, but I thought we were looking at how quickly those three candles were, or the four going up. I was
Yeah.
looking for the imbalance there, but okay, my bad.
I don't even look, I don't even go through all that. So this is on the weekly. I would put this here. This is my weekly order block. It's at the 78. I would be looking to buy from here, maybe at least up to this high. Now remember, I want price to pull back to really want price to pull back to here to buy, but 1, 2, I think price is probably going to pull here, push up first, past this high or past these highs. This was the original, right? And then we'll get a pullback to the demand zone to buy even further, to start buying up to these highs. So I would love to see price break this high and then pull back to this demand zone to keep buying. We gonna see. That's Euro USD. Who trades Euro USD? Anybody? I want you to remember.
I don't, but I've just put the alert.
I want you to remember that. I'm trying to see if another pair. Oh, this was Mish. This is GCAD. GCAD. Okay. What's the first thing we do?
Look at the overall structure.
Absolutely. So I'm going to reset this. I'm going to see what the overall structure is showing me. What I see is price pushed down, pushed up, pushed down, pushed up. Price did not break, or did it? I can't tell. Hold on. Okay. Let me turn on my magnet right quick. So on lower time frames, price broke structure. And I'm just going to show you right here. It just wicked. Oh, no, it didn't. It broke. It broke structure. Okay. So for me, price closed below. So this is the last move right here. Right? So now, because that's the last move, that's the last leg that we're looking at, we're going to go from this high to this low. So now we're looking to buy price up to the 78 or the 88. So once we identify the structure on the weekly, you had this push up, this pull back, this push up, this pull back, this push up. That's the last push up. Which one is the highest point? This one, we're going to tap it there. Okay. So right now, this is the swing low. This is your swing high. This is everything in between. So if we fibbed this current move here from here to here, price is likely pulling back to your 50, one of your discount areas. So you would be looking for price to pull back somewhere here and then continue going bullish because you're looking for price to buy up into the 78 or the 88 because price broke structure on the higher time frame. So I would be looking to buy from this one of these zones. If you're trading imbalance, there's your imbalance here. You can mark up your imbalance, wait for price to get there, and then look for a shift. Or if I go down to my daily, I'm going to see my demand zone here. So I would be looking for price to pull somewhere back to here at the 78 and then start buying. If it could come back to, just like the other pair we looked at, it could come back to the 88. So I would be looking for price to pull back to one of these zones, shift structure, and then I can take the buy at least to this high, or if you want to hold it even longer, at least the negative 27. Or if you want to hold it a little longer, there's the 78. And then you can see what happens from there. But once price breaks this high, whatever this pulled back to would be your swing low. This will be the break of structure. And then this, wherever it goes, will be your next high. Your next swing high. Does that make sense? So, and I don't think Misha was on the call when I was talking about this earlier. Although, because I see that you mark up like all of this, and that's all great. But when you're trading, when you're in the middle or the thick of things, right? And this is the leg, right? You also have to account for the internal moves. And I didn't count this because it didn't break this high. Once it breaks the high, that's what you count. And then once you see a pullback, that's what you count. Didn't break this low. And see, most people would have marked this high and they would have thought, okay, price shifted structure, but this high never broke this swing high right here. This pullback, I mean, this push up never broke this swing high. It pulled back and then it broke structure. So all of that has to be included in the swing. So now that this price has broken structure, so this is the last swing right here, right? This is our last swing. And as we can see, for me, price didn't break structure. It wicked it. Oh, on the 4-hour, it did break structure. Wait a minute, let me, because I look for my confirmations on the 4-hour and the 1-hour. So this did break structure here. So price could possibly be pushing up to continue to sell this bigger, higher time frame leg. So if it, I need a close pull out, and like I need to see it a little more. Yes, that could be just a fake out. Almost like what GU and EU look like price close and then it start to move back. And so I just need to see either price needs to break this high because this is your current. You just always have to look at structure. This is your current swing down to the downside. So my thought process would be that maybe price will come here and sell some more. If it comes here and closes above, then I would be looking to buy it at least up to this supply zone. Because it technically closed below this low. So that could be the sign that it is going to start selling more to the downside. Now, if price comes up here and breaks this high, then this means nothing. Then it would just be a pullback and a continuation. But as of right now, I see a close below. I would be looking for price to pull back to here to start selling. Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
but this kind of things are the kind of things that confuse me, because on the higher time frame where you identify this structure, it was just a weak break, not a body close, but just a weak, right?
Yep.
But when you go down to the lower time frame, that's a body close.
Yes.
So according to the saying that higher time frame kind of shows more strength, like it's more powerful than the lower time frame. So what would you be expecting? Would you
Um,
really call that a break, or
yes,
should I
because
say?
I look for breaks of structure on the 1-hour and 4-hour. I look for
Okay.
price to break on the 1-hour. It did. Now, like I said, it could be a fake out, right?
Mm,
But I'm looking for price to pull back here and then it could sell some more. Price could come here and sell and close below these lows
mm,
because this was the structure on
yeah.
the the higher time frame structure, right? On the 4
Mm,
hour.
yeah.
So this was a break of structure here. This was the swing high. This is the swing low. If price closes above this high, then I would be looking to buy. Right now, I'm looking to sell. Price is currently this pullback here and here. and here,
Yeah.
and here, right?
Mhm.
So I'm looking for price to pull back and at least sell to these lows.
Okay.
Or price is going to keep selling, and then I'm looking for another pullback to start selling.
Okay. What if at this point where price is now, price comes and break this structure here
If price breaks this structure, I'm looking for a demand zone for price
to
to
buy
pull
back
to buy back up to, and I don't know,
to?
I'm just guessing right now, right? I'm just putting a
Okay.
hypothetical here. If price closes above here, I'm going to
Mm.
be looking for the demand zone to buy up to here.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would, but I have to see the structure. I have to see the market structure shift. Now, Todd may say, well, there was a shift on the 15-minute. And there was, but this was the leg of the down move, right? This is
Mm.
still my my move to the downside. Let me just say, I don't care what anybody said. Just like Todd doesn't care what I say, if he sees it as a shift in structure, then that's how he sees it. If I don't see it as a shift in structure, then I'm not going to see it until I see this here broke violated. And then, like I said, I will look for a demand zone on the higher time frame, 1 hour, 4 hour. I would look for that to pull back to wherever that zone is, and then take the buy up to the supply zone. I trade from supply zone to demand zone to supply zone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if it doesn't pull back, then so let me just say this for GJ. Let me just say GJ. This was let's go to the daily. Was it GJ? No, it was G. Wait a minute, what was it? GJ. It was GJ. So GJ, the daily. I was looking for price to wait. Oh, wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right. Okay, here we go. It already played out. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. So for GJ, I was looking for price to pull back um into this zone, right? And then this is the swing low. Let me just mark it so you'll see it. Swing low. All right. It pulled back into my demand zone and took off. Okay. Now, on the 1 hour, I had some internal structure. Like this is the break of structure. So this is my external swing high here, right? This was my break of structure here. This is my swing low. Now that price has, and then this is the internal. Price has broken this swing high and this swing high, my external swing high. So as you can see, I have a, was it 4 hour? 1 hour. Let me move all this since that has already hit. Here we go. So I have this 1 hour demand zone marked up. So when price starts pulling back, and no, I'm not trading the pullback. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because this can go up some more. This can go up to, this can take out this high if it want to. I don't care. I just know that this limit is already set. And then once it starts pulling back closer to my limit, I can then see wherever the high is, and I'm going to take it to that high. So if this starts pushing up some more, so say price goes up here some more, maybe it'll go up there. I don't know. And then shift and then sell back down to here. Then I will take my TP to this high, which is 242 pips. And that will be my trade. So I'm expecting price to pull back. This is where I'm expecting price to pull back. This was the first market structure shift. This is 1, 2. It's probably going to go up some more. I don't care what it does. I really don't care what it does. All I know is when it pulls back to here, I'm buying. And it ain't going to be a small lot either. It ain't going to be small. Just FYI. All right. Any questions on that?
Yeah, quick question. You
Mhm.
are taking profit on those other two trades, right?
Which one?
The first one that you took.
This one here?
Yes.
I got out at my high.
Okay. And when it pulled back, you took another entry?
Now that it's pulling back,
Yeah.
I'm not in it yet. This is my entry right here.
Okay. So you didn't get it again above that swing high right there where you got it marked?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Because I don't know if it's just pulling back to keep, like, there's no structure being formed here. So this could just be a pullback into this little imbalance and then start buying back up for another, because now this is the high, right? So if price breaks, then this is my swing low, this is my swing high, this is my breaker structure. So as long as it's buying up, I'm not buying anything because I don't want to buy high and then it turns around on me, right? I will either wait for one or two things, structure to shift, or just wait for price to come back to this zone to then buy up. So this right here, and trust me, I even tried to get in this trade, okay? But the retracement is just too choppy for me. And I got some moves in. I did get some moves in. I think I got in here for this move down and maybe this move down. But if it's going to be a headache, trust me, I'm not in it. Just like this move swiftly from the zone that was marked up, this move swiftly from this zone that was marked up, this little demand zone here, it moves swiftly. Those are the only trades I want to be in. I don't want to be in the choppy retracements, pullbacks. I don't want to do it. I'm only looking for my A plus setups, less headache, and because the trend is bullish, like I want to trade the trend. I'm not looking to trade the sellback. I mean the pullback. I'm just looking to trade the trend. So now that price, like I said, I think it's going to push up some more, one more time to close above these highs. Um, and then it may give you a shift in structure. Will I get in? I don't know. I might play with it or something, for the sake of playing. But I know it's going to be a choppy move back down because that's what counter trend trades do. So, but once it gets here, well, I've already set the limit. So I'm not even worried about it. It may not happen for 2 weeks and I'm okay. Same thing with this one right here. It didn't happen is Christina still on here? I think she's gone because we talked about that trade. And just FYI, I made $30,000 on that trade today. 30K on the trade. So I don't have to get in another trade this month. Well, it's the end of the month, but I'm just saying I don't have to get in another trade until the one that I want to see happens. And if this takes 2 weeks to pull back, I'm okay with that. Because I know I'm going to make even more than 30K the next time. So I'm okay with waiting for the right trade based off of supply and demand. I know, and I'm gonna tell you, I hear y'all on the charts all day, and I just be like, why? Why? But I get it. I mean, I've been there. I've been there. Trust me. In my 4 years of learning how to trade, I've been there.
We're coming. We're coming.
I know. I know. Yep. All right. Any other questions? Did I look at all the chart markups? Is anybody looking to wanting to see what I did? I think we went over Jay Birds. Is D Will still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Did we go over? Did you want to go over anything? Is Daniel here? Let me see who's here. I don't think Daniel's here. But I do want to say for Daniel's trade, what was his pair? GU. So we did go over GU. So I'm okay with not going over that again. And what was this one? That's GU. Okay, and then I did mention, okay, no, he did to there. Wait a minute, why did he go from there? So the fib would be the question I have for him on his second chart. He fibbed a little further down, but you say you want to wait for the right trade. I'm telling you, you can't be chasing. As soon as you start chasing, it's gonna go the other way. It's gonna go the other way. So, so yeah, that's all I have. I mean, I think everybody is doing okay, but I think y'all are getting, you have to look at the higher time frame, the daily, the weekly, whatever. Mark up the structure, the current structure. Look at the overall structure. Like I said, you want to know where you're going, where you're coming from, and where you're going. And then start identifying your 4 hour structure within where price currently is to take it to the zone where you're going, 78 or the 88. If you're doing 50%, 618, 78, 88, whichever your discount or premium zone is, that's where you want to buy or sell to. And then you want the market to show you a shift in structure and then trade the correction or the continuation of the trade um, based off of that. Does that make sense? And what I mean by we're at the 88, shifting structure. So you want to continuation of a cell. And like I said, I would just sell it down to this demand zone and see what happens. And like I said, if price doesn't buy from this zone, I will fund somebody's account. Okay. I will fund somebody's account, and this is on record. So, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that's it. I just don't want y'all to complicate it. I want y'all to, you see how I went to the weekly? I marked it up quickly. I marked up my structure very quickly. My last structure, pull up to the 7 you can now buy it. Once this started buying up, you could buy it up to the 78 or 88. As you can see, it got very close. It passed the 78, got very close to the 88, and then shifted structure at the 88. Shifted structure. So now you're looking to price the keep push down, pull up, and then sell. If you just want to take it to this low, that's more than enough. You can take it to that low because it'll probably take out the low, pull back again. So if we had to sell from here, and this is higher time frame, so this would be a lot of pips, 425 pips. But to here is 1200 pips. Or wherever that supply zone. See, based on the daily, take it up here. So that went to about 127 pips to here. And now that's 1500 pips. And trust me, the ride is going to be rocky. It's going to come here and it's going to pull back. And it's going to come down here and then it's going to pull back at these little demand zones. And then it might pull here and then it might go north. So that is all I have for you today.
You know what? I had my chart back
Appreciate
up.
it. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. And y'all know if y'all have, of course, if y'all have questions. I've been a little busy this past couple of weeks because I'm in the process of trying to purchase a house. So it's just been a little crazy, but I will definitely answer your questions.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Huh?
Why do you
Help me see.
Night you'll see with it tonight.
Oh, no. So yes. Any questions y'all have, y'all can drop them in the chat. And I'll try to get to them best I can.
Thank you.
All right. All right, y'all.
All right. Have
All
a great night. Ciao.
Thank you.
Okay,
You
take care.
too.
Bye.